Actually vertiginous, actual vertiginy, actual the vertiginous Mary, the vertiginous. Oh come on, the vertiginous Mary's worth 20 points. 20 points go to Gary and Linda in first place now. It's Joan and Pete. Let's get a bit of light on the subject. I've got a bit of a blue edge, actually, and emotionally. Let's sort this out. I'll press settings, as I was told. What do you make of that intro then, eh? What do you make of that one? It's a new one, isn't it? And a new one, innit? Someone done that. You'll have to tell me if you're in the chat. Not because I don't think about thine person, but because it's a different name, innit? Oh. All right, one here. All right, Clark Rent. I'm Clark Rent. Clark Rent's quite good, isn't it? Let's say hello, but only to the ladies. Here we go. Hello, Mark. Hello, Emma. Hello, Diamonds Are Forever. And that would appear to be it. Hello, Jessica. It's a shame he wasn't here this morning. We showed his old man. What's the name? I think you might be female. I think you are, actually. I shouldn't have done this, should I? Because there's going to be a couple of people that are going to go, you thought I was a bloke all this time. It's fucking, what was her name? Who was it? And I told everyone it was a geezer. And it was all very funny. Livy! Hello, Livy. Livy. Well, there you go. That was to celebrate International Women's Day, which was 2 days ago. But, you know, oh, excuse me. Yes, I certainly thought that. Whoa. Hello, Mrs. Packer. Even old Packer at the pub got me instead. Look at that. Brilliant. That's amazing. Anyway, love, I'm just going to go and have a couple of jars, yeah? You were like, no problem. Brilliant. Are you in the hot seat or are you back? Oh, hang on a minute. Typical. Should have read the rest of the message, shouldn't I? There's me joking. Oh, this happened. And then I read, just chilling after spending half a day in A&E. Is whatever that was for all taken care of now? I certainly hope so. Obviously. It'd be weird if I wasn't. Is that worse? Imagine. Has that got worse? Let me know. No, I hope that's. I hope everyone's all right. I'm assuming it's the little ones or something, or not all of them. I'll tell you what, Al. I'll tell you what. I've been having a terrible time, really terrible time. I keep saying I don't want to go into it, and then I go into it, but it's like this split up. She keeps opening the wound, and I don't know why. Just as I start to accept it, she'll say something that makes me think there's a language problem that's causing had a proper old cry up. You know, men shouldn't cry in front of their women. Men should cry, certainly not in front of their children. Later on in life, or if it's a loving moment, but not through fear or misery. You do that in front of your mother or on your Jack Jones, but fuck me. Usually I'm just like, and it stops. But, oh, mate, there was a puddle. I was on the shitter as well. Sorry, the toilet. I made a little puddle. Hello, Daz. And I thought, it's 3 o'clock in the morning here, but I thought, nah, I can't be doing this. I need some persons. Yeah, P in the chat for Packer. I mean, I don't expect you to go into the details, but I hope whoever it is all right. Waiting to hear back from the hospital to see specialist after burning my hand on boiling custard. Stage 2 burns hurt. Ouch. Because that's also obviously got milk in it, which has got, it's dairy, isn't it? Which is going to, I imagine. Ouch. Well, ouch. I'm just, you get a tiny little burn when you accidentally graze past the oven door when it's open, but a custard burn, that sounds like the most amazing injury I've ever heard. I wrote a short story once called Bastard Custard, just because I wanted to call a story Bastard Custard. I didn't actually have a story. I just like the name. It's strange how these things will happen. Yes, there's also sugar in it, of course. The old prison trick. Hello, Nige, England. Are you new in these parts, Nige? Nice to see you. You're more than welcome. Maybe you're not new. Maybe I've just forgotten. Emrys loves custard. I don't think we should talk about our custard likes or dislikes while Mrs. Packer's sitting at home, probably with a a donut of bandages on. Did they give you any morphine? That's all I really want to ask. What painkillers did they give you? And I'm not even joking, because I'm prepared. I'm ready to get angry. I was watching something the other day, some Western, and some geezer gives some bloke in the bar a bit of jip, and he goes, "Do you know why I'm in this bar?" And the bloke goes, "No." He goes, "I'm looking for a reason." He goes, "Do you want to be that reason?" I thought, that's a line. That is a line. Pizzle, we saw your old man today. The motorbike was identified. Very cool. Very cool. Unfortunately, I haven't got it saved. I had it open on me Paint Shop Pro version 8. Yep, version 8. Right, I'm going to get the entropy sorted out for two reasons. One, to hopefully influence some donations. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And two, once I've got that open, it means I can close YouTube, because the internet and my computer has been playing up. Excuses. Do we all know two looses? One is a hottie, the other is naughty. We all know two looses. We all know two Emmas, two Emmas, two Emmas. We all know two Emmas. I've got to stop improvising, because I remember we've got a couple of Emmas in the chat. We've got Emma Glass and we've got Emma G. Now I've probably gone and forgotten another one. See, this is the problem. Fucking paracetamol. No. I would have said jokes. Give me something that's going to work, please. I would have expected at least dihydrocodeine. Hello, Skin Scar. Good evening. Just fried a loin of fresh venison. It was lovely. You know what? I nearly put a steak in the grill today, but I had steak yesterday. I went for a pizza instead, and it was humiliating. Now, I don't know if the thumbnail updated. Just in case it didn't, I'm going to show you it, because I made the thumbnail and then I got called on the Ragnar hotline, the rag line on the ragaphone. The ragaphone did thus start ringing, and I thought, what does he want this time? Fucking hell. And I'll tell you what, I nearly didn't answer it. Listen, this is how you know I do tell you people the truth. I do not lie. I do not lie. Listen. When it was ringing, I nearly didn't answer it, because I so need this stream. I really need your company, people. I really need your company. Right? That's fair enough, isn't it? Many of you have said that to me. Not my company, but everyone's. And so when Rags called me before the stream, which I think he's only ever done once, I had a horrible feeling he was going to say something like, "Oh, you're clashing with the Bard stream," or something that really I should step back from, because, you know, streaming twice a day and no one gets their audience is similar to mine. And I nearly didn't answer it, so that I didn't know that I was treading on someone's toes, so to speak. But then I thought, hang on, he might be in trouble. This might be an emergency call. He might need me to get hold of some of the boys. What? Yeah, knives and guns and shit, is it? Hang on, I'll get the motor. But it weren't. But listen, Jack London, who I love talking to because he's got the same accent as me, slight difference, but certainly estuary. He's in Ireland, and he's gone to visit Rags, and he's at Rags's house. And I've already seen the pair of them sitting there. It was quite fun, actually, because Jack was sort of in the background on the sofa. He had that look about him. He was sort of like looking around Rags' house thinking, you haven't done very well for yourself, be honest with you, mate. And Rags was like this close to the screen. Going, he went, hey, Chris, I just wanted to remind you that I was like, oh yeah, you're going to come on, aren't you? So I adapted the. I got busy. What's going on here? No, stop that. It's going to crash, people. Hang on, it might not crash. Share screen. Share screen. So I got busy with some very subtle adjustments. I turned it from the early doors Grift, Schism, excellence to featuring Rags and Jack London. Now, you might be able to see, some of the less well blended edges, but in general, I think I pulled that off rather well. So there you go. It was quite funny as well, though. So I'm going to waffle on for a bit. Like I say, it's 3 o'clock. I don't want to be. I'll be up all night anyway. Look, John. Look, I'm not paying for this. I don't blame you. I'd like you to, but I don't blame you. Hello, Melvin. Yeah. Just you go to art school for 7 or 8 years. These things, they come to your second nature, really. Just it's not even knowing how to do it. It's just you just do it. Do you know what I mean? It's the unknowing. Diamonds Are Forever is getting there. Been having a few bad days here and there, but remaining positive. That's 90% of the journey. Well done. Sorry to hear about Emma's mum. Yep, give her lots of hugs. Yeah. Diamonds, I'm assuming you're referring to the trail end of your benzo rattle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but darling, you've done something incredible there. Tell me if you were here when I told the Boy George withdrawing story. It will take 30 seconds to tell you, and it's really important if I've correctly identified what you're referring to here. And I'd really love to share it with you because it helped the hell out of me. Pax Max wants to know how they deal with the language barrier in Northern Ireland. Well, you're about to find out. That's right, Mick. It's the art of non-art. Yes, Zen art. The graphic design of no hands drawing. Marzipan's going to have a biffed up. Good lad. Nothing wrong with that if you can handle it. Eric likes his entertainment. Very unprofessional. You might have landed. It's the unpredictability and relatability I enjoy. Yeah, you come to that right place. Nice to see you, Pax Max. Nice to see you, Eric, as well. Thank you, Emma. Hello, Grim. Thank you, 42. It's good stuff. Hello, Little Red. Nice to see you. See, this was the thing, right? Look at this. Eric says that Dangerfield is the most realistic VTuber to come from Asia. See? The most realistic VTuber from Asia. If you can't give me that, I'll never let them take that away from me. Thank you, Eric. Hello, the Tej. I did call you Eric, though, so I think we're quits. Knives and shit. That was it, wasn't it? Nice one, Quadrex. Well, do you know what I mean? I'll tell you what. This is what I thought. I've said on here many times that, life can be hard. Life can be a struggle. And then I was thinking, hang on a minute. There's people in that chat who've just lost their house. There's people in that chat going through divorces. There's scrubs with cancer. There's scrubs with other illnesses and diseases. There's scrubs who have lost their children. There's scrubs who've had family members die. There's scrubs who've had lovers die. There's scrubs going through all manner of really difficult things. And I thought, just, take some of your own advice, a bit of acceptance, and it's all right. It's actually all right. This has been the problem with feelings is feelings. That's the issue with them. We try not to have them. We're not actually, I was saying we're not actually designed to lift heavy weights. We're not actually designed to lift heavy feelings, and which is why they often break us. But get on with it. Get on with it. Thank you, Mick. The best YouTuber in his flat. There's that classic line where a reporter said to John Lennon, "Is Ringo Starr the best drummer in the world?" And John Lennon said, "He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles." Which is also true. No, absolutely, Eric. It's amazing. Paul Simon. What? Simon? Good Lord. Sorry, Sams. I thought that would be like a nice little personal touch for Salmon, but it was rubbish, didn't it? But we didn't get a VART. But let me get entropy set up, and it'll probably already been in there if you did donate via VART. But you get VARTs for super chats as well. Let's see what's going on. No, not a fucking whisper. Right, here we go. Let's just sort this out. I'll get it out of the way. I'm not going to go through all the rigmarole. You know how it works by now. Let me just get this pinned. Pinner. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Vesper Check. Good to see you both. Why doesn't it work? What's happening? There's real problems with this damn computer. Yeah, I'm all right, Paul. Thank you, mate. I hope you are too. Right, that's there. Then we do that. Then we do that. There you go. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, that should be right. Can someone confirm that the entropy link is pinned up there? You can become a member of the stream. Top link in the description. You can donate via super chat. You can donate via entropy. It's not a full-time job, but I do appreciate the donations, and you're a very generous bunch. Machano Caprasha Tutu for that. That's it. Diamonds Are Forever says, "Thanks, Chris. No, I haven't heard that true story before. I rattled off them 12 years ago. Still take some now and again. Oh, it's methadone now, is it? All right, same story. And I know a lot of you heard this the other night, but I know there's a lot of addicts, ex-addicts, current addicts, soon-to-be addicts, were addicts. I know people, there's a lot of people here. So this is what happened. I'd been out to Thailand. I rattled a gram a day habit, white number 4 habit. No tapering, nothing to help me. That's not true. I had some ladies help me, and they really did as well. Jokes aside, I had some ladies help me. I had one lady love me, and I mean that. When you finally read the novel, this will all make sense. Anyway, and I'd come back, and I went out to Thailand for about 9 weeks, but for the first 3 weeks, I was zooming up to Koh Samui and scoring. So when it got to about 3 weeks, I thought, mate, you can't just keep going and scoring. You've got to do this, because you can't go back to work after 9 weeks and go, I just had a holiday in Thailand. Sorry. And I just thought, you've got to do it. So I did, I sort of got on with it. So by the time I got back to England, I was still in a real fucking mess, because it's a long one, isn't it? It's a long thing. And I was sitting at Bar Italia once, and I was shivering and sneezing and very, very depressed, because biologically you don't have the necessary chemicals to give you a sense of well-being. Your dopamine's all over the place, your serotonin's all over the place. And the one I always miss, that someone will put in the chat in a minute, you biologically can't be that happy and optimistic. You simply don't have the chemistry. Anyway, Fat Tony and Boy George come and join me for tea. Just a cup of tea. And George went, "How you doing?" And I said, "Fucking terrible." And he was like, "Why? I thought you just got clean." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I feel like shit. I feel weak and broken and damaged. And I'm like," I remember the line. I said, "Oh, my head's like a tin of broken biscuits." And this is Boy George, right? He went, He went, hang on a minute. He went, so you've just got clean. You've just been through something that most people can't do. That's not weak, is it? That's strong. You've just managed to stop taking something that you've got a psychological obsession with, a psychological compulsion with, as well as a physical addiction with. You've climbed the walls. You haven't slept for 3 or 4 weeks. You've avoided temptation when you know you could have stopped all that pain in an instant. That's strong. That's the stuff of warriors. Now, you might feel a bit weak, but you've just proven yourself to be exceptionally strong. If you can get through that, you can get through most things in life. And I was just like, that's excellent. That's excellent. Because what I was doing, and Eckhart Tolle talks about this, what I was doing was letting the emotional pain of the situation take over my body. It became my pain body, and it was just negative thinking. And negative thinking can kill you. It doesn't sort of climb out the shadows and put a knife through your neck, but it can take you to suicide. It can take you to relapse. It can take you to risk-taking behaviors. Whereas positive thinking can keep you alive. Positive thinking can, and I'll tell you what, for the next hour or so, when we had a couple of cups of tea and talked about things, and you can imagine Boy George and Fat Tony. Most of you probably don't know Fat Tony, but he was quite the figure in 80s Soho. They were just telling me some of the funniest stories involving people like Madonna and Elton John. And, when you get funny stories about those sorts of people, they're a right giggle. It completely changed the way I felt, Diamonds Are Forever. From then on, and I made a note of it that night when I'd done my personal inventory, I made a note of it. Be aware that you will become negative. Identify it. All right, I'm feeling negative. Accept it. I haven't got the biochemistry to necessarily be happy all the time, or to even be content, to even like myself. That biochemistry takes months and months and months to get back to normal. But the heavy lifting is done. The heavy lifting is done. Now it's just a question of time. So when it happens, I identify it, I accept it, and I get back to the now, right where I am, not the past, not the future, not worrying about things that haven't happened yet and probably won't, not worrying about things I can't change. And that's just become part of my psychological existence now. Because negative thinking can make it can make a mistake. It can turn a mistake into a catastrophe. And positive thinking can I've said it enough times now, but I think you'll probably understand what I'm saying. Stick with it, because that's a real hard one, methadone as well. I really know what you're going through, so please stay strong. Hello, Pablo. Good to see you. 42. Don't forget, people. Friday at 3 o'clock, is it? I think 42 UK time. 42 is going to come on and talk about growing up in Northern Ireland during the Troubles. I still don't like that. Hello, Emma. Nice to see you, love. Hello, John. Marky boy, thanks for the pinner. Nice one. Hello, Little Red. Jess appreciates the pinner. Nice. Steve's not having it. Hello, 21st Dissident. Current addict. There you go. Alcohol. Took a day off to drink. What addicts doing it? So you took a day off just so you could get shit-faced and sit there. It's crazy, isn't it? I really feel for you. I really feel for you. It's hard. It's hard. Little Red. Warten, Hello, Martha. Oi, you get out here, give me a bit of warning, and we'll go out. We can go out, we can go for a cup of tea. I do like this Japanese restaurant. I've only been there once, but if you like sushi and sashimi, I'll take you there for a dinner. Lovely. We don't have to drink if you don't want to. Yeah, Pizzle knows about that meth. Little Red says addiction and me are too familiar. Hello, Vincent. Vincent, was it you that said, who was it sent me? Someone said they got home. It might have been LC actually. Someone's landlady came home and put on Bell and Sebastian, Boy with the Arab Strap. What a tune. What a tune that is. Steve Cray's been singing the Island Boys all day. It's a great tune. I told you. Learn to love it. They're excellent. I was about to do it then. Hello, Snoopy. Hello, Lulu. Hello, Grego. Grego, Fat Shame Tony. He's a good lad, Fat Tony. Very funny bloke. What? The fucking donation. The free 3:20 in the morning. Someone gave me some financial validation. I'm absolutely with you on that, Key to the Kingdom. A lot of people just go, oh, you stinking hippie. Not at all. Not at all. Eckhart Tolle was pretty much a complete failure, getting a bit of kipping on a park bench one day, and he thought, this is shit. What the fuck has happened to me? And then he set about finding out why he was totally miserable. And you know what? He found out why. He found out why. And it's excellent. It's such a good story. He just worked out it was about, you know, I always talk about don't live in the future, don't live in the past. If you're in the future, you're living in fear. If you're in the past, you're living in resentment. No one wants to be living in fear or resentment. Resentment means to re-sense, to re-feel things that you didn't like in the past. Who wants to be there? Who wants to live in fear? But if you live now, which is all there actually is, the other two are illusions. There's no past. Look how bad things get. When I say past, I'm having to point behind me because there's no such thing as the past. Where is it? Doesn't exist. Even memories aren't the past because the memories are changed by where you are now. There's like a dialectic going on between now and the past. And yet we spend most of our, especially in today's society where marketeers, advertisers, corporations desperately try and get us involved with our pasts and our futures because they want to scare the shit out of you in the future, and they want to offer you the connection that you've lost from the past. Nostalgia comes from nostos, fear of, what is it? Fear. The word actually means, fuck the etymology because I'm going to screw it up. But algia is pain, like neuralgia. It's the pain of wanting to return home. It's not nostalgia as in, oh, I used to love it. The jumpers for goalposts. The key to it is the pain of wanting to return home. You know, that longing. You know, it's not a pleasant thing. It's not an unpleasant thing, but, you know, got to bear these things in mind. You got to understand that now. Once you understand that this is all you've got, you can make use of it a bit better. 21st Dissonance says, I'm a workaholic. Listen, if you're an alcoholic, you've just got you're making choices to distract yourself from yourself, which is exactly what I'm doing at the moment. If I'm not streaming, working, I'm not writing at the moment because I'm not in the right mental space. But if I'm not streaming or working, I'm doing something. I'm fucking around with this new atomizer I've got. 4 hours I spent on that yesterday, just trying to get it working. But, you know, or mopping the floor, cleaning this, doing this. You know, I've got so much done. My house has never been tidier. It might not look like it, but because you're running from yourself, 21st Dissident, doesn't matter whether it's boozing or working. But, you know, overworking can put you in your grave as well. You know, it'll stress the fuck out of you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? Well, there are functioning alcoholics, without a doubt, but it's just when people say that, they tend to focus on the functioning bit. You know, yeah, I'm a functioning alcoholic. I was a functioning smackhead. You know, I set my business up and run it for years. But still addict is on the... But there's still addict on it. You know, it's easy to focus on the functioning bit. But, you know, it's like saying I'm a functioning murderer. Yeah, I'm functioning, but you're still killing people. I'm not. This isn't directed at you, 21st. This is you know, directed at the people. There you go, 21st. The only decent rehab I ever went to, they spotted that in me almost immediately, and I had to do a control assignment. And then after that, I had to do another control assignment. Yeah. I have hypersensitivity, and so like when people used to come around my flat, I'd have that situation under control. The music that I wanted to hear would go on the stereo. We'd leave the house when I wanted to. We'd do what I wanted to do that afternoon. It wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be like a little Hitler going, no, we're doing this next. It would be very subtle, Machiavellian, one more time, Machiavellian manipulation, very subtle social group dynamic manipulation. So I felt like I had control of the situation. And if that was ever, if that was ever ruptured, if there was ever like a jolt in that, or something happened that sort of where I felt like I was losing control of the group, fucking dramas, panic, you know. It's interesting that you know that, 21st Dissident. It is interesting that you know that. Took me a long way to get through that as well, and it can still come back. You know, these things you have to work on them. Hello, Hans. Nice to see you. Nice one, Little Red. Parasha Cuckoo Keep. Diamonds are forever says, but we will get there. Yeah. I mean, all these behaviors are essentially a choice. These aren't things, you know, we talk about the red mist, don't we? Why do you keep fighting, John? Well, I don't decide to keep fighting. It's just like this. The red mist comes down. I'm just at it. Why do you keep drinking? Well, you know, I don't know. Everything's going all right. And then suddenly I just think I'm going to drink a bottle of vodka as if it's like external. No, you're choosing. You're making a choice. Like 21st Dissident there, workaholic. You know, it almost sort of gets you off. I'm a workaholic. Well, yeah, that's probably a good thing. I bet you minted, didn't you? Yeah, but worn down to the bone, broken and knackered, and, you know, all these other things. Maybe not now, maybe not next week, but a couple of years perhaps. And who's being neglected? Family, friends, lovers, relationships. And even if it's not any of them, I'll tell you it will be you. There's sometimes there's some good stuff, John. It creeps in occasionally. Thank you, Mark. There you go. Yeah, it makes sense. And I know it's hard. You know, when you're feeling like shit and someone says, you want to start thinking positively, you're like, yeah, you might want to move before I knock you out cold. But because of the way George explained it, sort of said, hang on a minute, haven't you just shown incredible strength? And there was more to it. Like he was saying things like, haven't you just shown how much you care about yourself? Which I don't think you've been doing for the rest of your life, judging by the stories I've heard up at Narcotics Anonymous. He said, but you've just put in all that hard work because you want more for yourself. and you want more for your family and your friends. You're a strong person. It's good. It's good stuff. Humans are great when they're right. There you go. That is exactly, yeah, that's exactly right. He was a DJ. Well, he still is a DJ. But in the 80s, to give you an example of how much of a figure he was, I mean, a couple of the gays in the chat probably remember Fat Tony. Face magazine was like one of the biggest style mags of the 80s. Older people will remember Face. And there was an article in there once, what was it? 20 things, something like 20 things people said to get into nightclubs for free or something. It was things like, I'm Fat Tony's record carrier, or I'm Fat Tony's hairdresser. You know, he was a right figure. Diamond says, wow, just went real deep for a few mins. Lol. Much respect to you, Chris. Nah, you know, look, what have we got here? 100 people, right? Let me just try this. There's 100 people here. Who at the moment is going through something difficult, emotionally difficult? Give me a 1 if you're going through something emotionally difficult right now. Like, not like right now, because I'm hopefully providing a little bit of distraction, which is also okay. But who's going through a difficult emotional time in their life? Give me a 1. Now, I know that not everyone talks in the chat, but just, I am convinced this won't be a few. Hello, Daffy. Jess says Pinner is my favourite thing at the moment. You're welcome. Willow had a day off and wished he had a drink. Right, where are we? Thank you, Raymond. Raymond, you've been very generous recently. Hi, Chris. Woke up feeling weirdly fantastic. Massive spring clean. After 3 months separated, now just about ready to go back to work. Scrub love. Nice one, Raymond. Nice one, man. You know, you just move on, don't you? You've just been through some dramas. This is life. Thank you, Raymond, for that 5 spot. And you've just woken up with a spring in your step. Wonderful. I don't recognize that, Leon. Near a tree by a river, there's a... Oh, near a tree by a... Oh, of course I do. Ah, oh, really whiny voice. All in the ground. Oh, the riddle, is it? Is that the what? Is that the riddle? Is it the riddle? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Sort of mid-80s. I think it's the riddle. Is that right, Leon? Let me know. Yeah, that's the one. That's the Eckhart Tolle one. It's on audiobook on YouTube. It's also, there's a speech of him doing it. And the opening's brilliant. Like, as someone who's done stand-up for 10 years, right? When he opens his speech, he doesn't say anything for about a minute and a half. And I'll tell you what, live, a minute and a half is a long time. He just sits there. He just sits there going. And it's not smug or arrogant. And you can see he has this slight sort of cheeky grin as if to say, it's hard work, isn't it? It's hard work being where you are. And then he starts laughing. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yeah, I really recommend that. A lot of people don't like him. Why would you not like him? I don't get it. But, you know, there you go. Yeah, I don't know, Pax Max. I don't know about that having one drink. If you're an alcoholic, all you're going to be doing is waiting all week for that one drink, which will mean the rest of your week means nothing. That's how heroin gets hold of you. No, I'm only doing it once a week, but the rest of the week doesn't count. You're just thinking, fuck me, roll on Friday. This is unbearable. And then, of course, maybe twice a week. And as soon as it's twice a week, you might as well start taking it every day because you're going to anyway soon. Oh my good fucking gosh. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Hack 61. Been a while. A big smile. Lovely to see you. Right. While I've just seen an old scrub there, that sounds awful. An old friend should say. I sent an email to Moslab because I know he's been snow ploughing, but it seems like that's been going on a while. So I wrote to him just to touch base. I wrote to Tech Roach as well. Said, haven't heard anything from you. Just touching base, make sure you're all right. So I'll let you know if either of them get back to me. Snoopy says, Jesus, only been here 10 minutes. I'm already questioning reality again. Without a doubt, alcohol withdrawal can kill you, 21st Dissident. I mean, if you're a binge drinker, you'll probably be all right. But if it's every day, actual withdrawal can kill you. John says the VAT is worth around 10% less depending on your geographical economy. Just saying. Hello, Planet X. Nice to see you. Hello, Lumi. There you go. That'll be Nostos, won't it? I don't really know how to take that. Daffyd says, Eckhart Tolle changed my life when the wife read the stuff. That can go all sorts of ways. Fucking hell, Grim. Are you serious? Are you an alcoholic and or methadone? It can be done though. Can be done. People have done it. Oh, that's a terrible shame. Well, do something about it. You know, these things are choices. Addiction is a choice. It's a many choices. We're making bad choices. You know, I've got a feeling, I've got an emotion, I don't like it. So, you know, what sensible, intelligent, wise people do is find long-term solutions. They look inside and try and find out why. But some people go, oh, fucking half a quarter of vodka would help, and another one would help, and you're still making choices, but just terrible ones. And the problem with substances, and the problem with anything compulsive or obsessive, is it works. It is a solution, but it will inevitably end up part of the problem and make the problem worse. It will mean you haven't got access to the problem. So now you've got another load of shit to get through before you get to the problem. You know, you've hidden yourself from it, which is great for a while, but when it stops working, you've now got you've made the problem worse. It's a real issue. Pags had some raw milk brie. Lovely. I've got a bit of brie in the fridge actually, but I haven't got any nice bread here, so I'm gonna wait until I can get a nice baguette. Hello, Sufis. Grego said jumpers for goalposts, luxury. We use dead siblings. Well, good luck to your 21st. You know my email. You know, even if you just want to write, to maybe writing down your feelings around this stuff can sometimes help you get a grasp on it. If you feel like you want to send me that, I won't write back and go, you need to do this. I'll just say, yep, Sounds about right to me. Because people usually know what their problems are. That's the interesting thing. People tend to know what the issue is. You know, the amount of people in my life who've sort of, you know, had one kind of problem or the other with substances or anything that any drama really. You know, substances are just another manifestation of drama. Some people fight, some people get into arguments, some people, you know, whatever, they crash cars. It's just dramas because it distracts you from yourself. And you're like, what is your fucking problem? What is wrong with you? You know, a few years ago, blah, blah, blah. Now look at you. You're a fucking mess. And they go, I don't know what the fucking problem is. You'll be surprised how quickly they do. If you say to them, no, let's just get honest here for a minute. What's the fucking problem? And if they're being honest, they'll usually know it because it dominates their life. You know, it hangs over their entire existence. Nice one, Eric. Past regrets, future fear. You just solved physics, growing block universe. Past and present exist while the future does not. A bit Buddhist style. Good on you. Argon. Well, it is very Buddhist. You know, that is very Buddhist. The Buddhists talk about living in the now, don't they? See you later, Butgug. People, it's been a long time, people. It's been a long time, but the table has been mentioned. The table has been mentioned. It's a duck. Hello, historical doppelganger. Good to see you. Been offline for a week. Internet stopped working. It's the Russians. There you go. Fuck me, a bottle of gin a day. I really feel for you. You know, when you say that to me, I don't even get to the end of that sentence because you're drinking a bottle of gin in a day. Takes a lot of pain to put that away. Takes a real lack of self-love. You know what they say about addicts? They say they've got massive egos and very little self-respect. And it's a deadly combination. And in that sentence, that's just that in a nutshell. Now, I'm not saying you can't win a bench trial the next day. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you probably actually your solicitor, lawyer, whatever you want to call it, work. You probably actually do better than most because you have to. Because you know you're drinking, because you know you've got this dirty little problem going on that's going to kill you, you're overachieving to balance it out. You know, I set my business up when I was at my worst ever. Handful of Valium for breakfast, bifter in the mouth, washed the valves down with super tenants, and then 10, 15 shots of smack a day. But I built that business like a warrior because I fucking had to. Because if I didn't, what was I? Just a street junkie living in my mum's back bedroom. You know, I needed to, and so I overachieved. There you go. Do you know what? I was just thinking maybe I've called this wrong. And then I've just got to the ones. Yeah, look. Martin, I'm shattered, mate. I got 2 hours sleep last night. I said that on this morning's one. They are Pandajit, John, Ian, Matthew, 42, Eric, Steve, Melvin, Pax, Max Grimm, Emma, Matthew, Thieves, Steve, Raymond, Hans, Jess, Snoopy, Leon, Baz, you know, and that's not because we're weirdos. That's because life is hard. Life is a struggle. Now, it's not always, But dealing with those struggles is what makes life worthwhile. Having responsibilities is what makes life worthwhile. Bless you all, really. You look, they're still going. I'm still, it's like everyone. There you go, look, who ain't? And yet we're not all killing ourselves. We're not all knocking it on the head. We're all still having a laugh now and again. We're all, when you're a teenager and that horrible one, you say, I never asked to be born. I'm fucking glad I was born. I've thoroughly enjoyed my life, and it's had some horrible times. I'm going through one of the horriblest times ever at the moment. I've never. There's always been so much relief when I've finished with girlfriends, but this one I really wanted to go for, and I fucked it up. She wanted a family and an house, and I gave her neither because I'm lazy. I just thought it'd happen. And I actually needed to do it, and I didn't. Hello, Brian. Hello, Al. What? Seemed very quiet, that. Right, I've been talking for 52 minutes. It's 3:45 in the morning. We're going to get some guests on. We're going to get Rags on. And, oh, look at that. It's not life. It's an adventure. It really is an adventure. I love it. I love life. Even with this. There you go. That's it. Nick Kershaw, the riddle. That's right. There you go. Nice one, Grim. Always appreciate some knock. These streams have been really good for me. Much appreciated, Chris. Well, good luck to you, man. You've got a few hills to climb there. Get on with it. Take your time. Don't let anyone pressure you, but get on with it. Get it done. Skin Scar says, my drink and drug taking was very heavy, but around 5 years ago it passed on its own. I still have a go now and again, but it ain't the same no more. Lovely. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? John says, talking of spring cleaning, I hung 4 guitars on my wall today. Life is good. This place is just immaculate. I'm going to get all my cushion covers I'm going to wash tomorrow. I was meant to do it today, but I was sleeping in for too long because I didn't get any sleep. So I just laid in bed going, Snoopy says, no matter how bad it is, at least being around so many other people with similar situations and good intentions helps. Never alone, and somebody always cares. Yeah, it's important to have people. It is important to have people. We got a good thing going on here. Hello, Colonel. Yeah. Back again. Yeah, I think an M in the chat from Moslab. I hope he's all right. And I said to him in the email, I said, look, maybe you've had enough of the streams. It happens. A lot of you here have seen people come and go over the years. But if he's still shoveling snow, I mean, the bloke's got a family of like 11 kids. And he's just bought loads of land, so maybe he's just busy. But I sent him an email because I like him a lot. Me and Moslab are strange friends. I think in the real world we probably wouldn't have crossed paths, but we get on, and I've got a lot of respect for him, so I hope he's all right. No, Scorry's been a while actually. I haven't seen Scorry around. And has Scorry been in the lifeboat? If anyone has got addiction problems and they want to talk to me, I'm not going to be able to get you clean. That's your job. But if you just want to write, that offer's always there, and that might help you just to get your thoughts in order. Yeah, it is one day at a time. Exactly, Daffy. No, it really is that. Hello, Klaatu. Good to see you again, mate. 10 years of alcohol. Hard at first, but I hardly think of it now. Good work. Dillich, long live diazepam. Oh, no, man. I fucked up on that just recently, didn't I? Snoopy thinks he could get addicted to eggs. That'll be all right. Hello, alt rock lover. Remember to get dressed when you get bread. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just make sure I've dealt with all the varts. And, oh, hang on a minute. Who's that? Angus McPlop. Are you new in these parts, Mr. Plop? Nice to see you. If you are, more than welcome. Stream a couple of times a day. No, Buckfast comes from Buckfast Abbey down in Devon. I've been there. I used to live just down the road from it. 8 ain't even 9. Steve says once bots comments have been deleted, you can still see them like they're not deleted. Maybe you can because you're moderator. We certainly are, Ian. Well, that's an interesting point, actually. Lee says Gerard Depardieu was on 14 bottles of wine a day. He enjoyed it. Doug Stanhope says that heroin didn't ruin Mitch Hedberg's life. He said, well, the last one did because it killed him, but he said he loved it. If you love it and you're doing it, and it, you know, and it's not causing sacrifices that you don't want to make. Those, if you don't want to make those, if you don't mind those sacrifices, then you know you can do anything you want in life. You've just got to be prepared and aware to deal with the consequences, because they're certainly coming. Nice one, Raymond. Very generous, Raymond. You demand. Thanks for being around for people who need moral support, which is a word you might have been looking for. Well, it's not just a word I've been looking for. It's what I've been looking for, certainly recently. Thank you, Raymond. Very kind sentiment and donation. Buckfast made in Devon by monks, drunk in Scotland by madmen. Emma says your constant reminders of gratitude help me a lot. Yeah, if you can get acceptance and gratitude, and they're not just something, I say this every time, they're not just something you learn and you've got them. They're active things. You have to apply them. But if you can be grateful and if you can accept things, it's not going to stop the pain, but it's certainly not going to make the pain worse, which a lot of other things do. Acceptance and gratitude changed my life. They really did. Right, I think I have dealt with all Vartans. I'll just check entropy, and then we're going to get a couple of guests on. We ain't going to talk about anything in particular, but Jack London has gone to visit Rags. Rags has been putting emotional pressure on me to invite them both on, so I suppose I better fucking do it. Rags, the link will be in your Telegram now. Right, don't worry, people, if you can't understand the word Rags is saying, just nod your head. Vata! Nice one, Planet X. A bit of moral support. Nice one. Thank you, Planet X. What? That's very kind of you, 21st Dissident. Thank you for your advice, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for your honesty, because everyone appreciates it, because it allows us all to tune into that. And like I said, you've got my email if you want to write. You won't get advice from me because that's just patronizing, but I can certainly share my experiences around that sort of thing. It's very kind of you, 21st Dissident. Here we go. Ozmeister, how long have we been on? At exactly an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, Rags, your camera ain't working. Well, try it, though, because it will be embarrassing for you. Look. There you go. Ireland, eh?
Just evidence that he's actually here and the Emerald Isle.
Yeah, but I can't see him. Hang on, let me put my things on, or people are going to get an echo. It's just horizontal lines. You need to adjust your horizontal hold. What? Try again. I could see you earlier, so what have you changed?
Nothing.
Changer. What are you, Rags? Oh. I want it.
Am I back?
Rags, can you hear me?
Yes.
What are you? I only wanted to hear him go, changer. Right, I've got my headphones on now, so you should be able to hear him, and I should be able to hear him, but there shouldn't be an echo. Right, here we go. Let's see how this one's looking. Same again. Ragnar Iron Spear and Jack London there, looking like a ZX Spectrum 48K.
I'll do the camera work. I go like this, and then I'll go like that.
Yeah, but no one can see you. Have a look on YouTube. It's not. There's no.
What's it doing on YouTube?
It's just lines, Rags.
Jack's going to check because it says my camera's on.
Amateur night.
Amateur
right. Did you hear him say that? Proper annoyed. I've never heard Rags that angry. Amateur night.
That's just lines.
Yeah. Why can I hear myself? Why aren't you watching this on StreamYard? That's no, because
Jack's checking the stream to see if he can see us. We can't see us on the stream.
Checker.
So hold on. There we go. That's better.
Now it is, but it'd be better to see you both. Mousecat said, "Open the blinds, Rags." It did look like fucking some kind of psychedelic Venetian blind. Oh, that's a shame we can't see you. You got to.
Can you hear the parents?
I can hear you, but hello, Jack.
Can you hear me, mate?
I certainly can.
Yeah, good to be chatting to you in real time for once.
I immediately felt my accent broaden a bit then when I heard you. It's funny how it happens. But why can't we see you? When you tried it before, it was all working.
Yeah, I don't know if that was because it was through Telegram. I don't know what's up with StreamYard, mate. It just I was looking on my phone. It's just blurred lines.
I don't know why, but I pressed the camera and I went to settings and I put the
right. Are you on your phone or are you on a computer?
I'm on my phone, bud.
Yeah, I'm not a very techie person when it comes to all this, mate.
Right, hang on. Yeah, I'm with you, Lee. I want to see him. Ian says you've got a funny accent, Jack. You know that Scottish bloke no one can understand.
I'll try it again, see if it works.
Right, no, it's just lines. Let's work this out. Come on, we've got the power between... Excuse me. We've got... Well, anything. I was thinking... What's the song by that alcoholic?
Is that any better?
It's exactly the same. It's got a nice little bit of green. It's like some kind of nuclear horizon in Minecraft.
It's like a bad,
it's disappointing. John says restart the phone. Yeah, Daffyd says they're blagging the broken camera. Wiggle the wires. Snoopy says you guys need to learn proper American English. All right, no, I want to see you. I ain't having this. This is bullshit. Right, let's work it out. Right, Rags. Rags, if you can still hear me, call me up on Telegram now. Right. Hippie jumper. Grego says, vibrate yourself very fast, left and right, Rags. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, we absolutely do want to see them both. Ring me up on Telegram, Rags. Oh, what? No, Rags, it's the same. I can see you down in the little green room. Call me on Telegram. We'll see if it's working there. Nice one, Eric. Elements of the past and the future combining to make something not quite as good as either. Elements of the past and the future combining. Well, neither of them exist. So, in that respect, you're absolutely right. We've only got now. Right. He's calling me on that, but you're still in the fucking green room. Let me chuck you out of there. Right. I'll accept that. And I'll start hang on. Yes, I can. So I don't know, but I might be able to sort this out. We might be able to bodge it. Hang on, give me a couple of seconds. Hang on. Give me a couple of seconds. The best joke then was something very funny that I missed. Hang on. John Palmer said it's because you're both naked. Hey, he actually said they're so naked, but it doesn't work so well spoken. Right, I think we can I think we can bodge this. Chat, Eric, thanks for that 5-bit. Can you hear these two? Say some words, people, or just make some silly noises. Right, can you hear them, people? Because I think we can bodge this. As long as you can hear them, we can bodge this. 1 second. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Right, hang on. They're saying no, but wait. Right, now talk. Look, I think those leads are a bit short, gents. You might need to get a bit closer together. Look at Jack's hand. Look, you know, in a minute he's going to have it on Rags' shoulder, just gently stroking the back of his head. Can you? Oh, what? You lot can't hear them. You lot can't hear them. You can see them. Right, hang on. Wait there, Rags. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I half expected it, to be honest with you. Right, hang on. Rags is talking about orange buttons. Right, hang on, people. Hang on. Right, now. Right. The jokes are brilliant. John says that Jack is sitting on Rags' knee. It's all very funny, but they're just two blokes in a room, and the homosexual tension must be awful now because we're just going all out. Can't you hear them now? Let me know you can't hear them. I'll be able to sort that. Don't worry, Rags, we're nearly there. Because if I can't hear you now, right, you can't hear them now. There's a slight delay on the chat. Say a couple of words, people. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, right. If you can't hear them, right, you can't hear them. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the cans out, and it's going to go into my microphone like this. Check it. Hang on. This is a proper workaround. One people. Wait. Right, talk now, Rags. Fucking hell, no. Didn't work. I thought that would work. Right, hang on, stay there. Stay there. Don't do anything. Right, hang on. Rags, talk. Oh, how annoying. What are we going to do? Maybe I need to actually put these away or something. How comes I can't work out why we can have you on... I can have you on Telegram, but when I get you on here, the audio drops out. What are you using as a microphone if you've got your headphones plugged in? Not that little tiny thing on the headphones. Well, hang on a minute. So you're on your phone, Rags? Yeah, okay. I can't hear you either, but I could mouth read that. That's what we're doing, Lumi. We're on Telegram video chat. And I would have thought that we would have... Right, hang on. Don't go anywhere, people. There must be a way of putting around this. Oh, God, why is it working? Hang on, people. Right, wait, I know you can still hear and see me, just wait. Right, Rags, talk now. Right, Rags, I can't even hear you now on Telegram. Is your mic muted? There's 4 circles in there. It'll have a line for it if muted. Because if I think something's wrong at your end, because why can't I hear you? I can't hear you. This is nothing to do with Stream now. This is just a Telegram call. I can't hear you. Right, fuck it. Turn the camera off and we'll have just audio like we did before, yeah? I'll drop you out of Telegram, just do it audio, okay? Nice one for trying. Well, you saw a bit of them. Well, I was buffering because those bastards. Now he's going to call me while I'm trying to get this back working. Give me a couple of seconds, Rags, before you call in. Well, you can jump in now, actually. I'll just have to bring you in a minute. How peculiar that didn't work.
Have you got us now?
Hello, Rags. Yeah, I can hear you. No problem. What a terrible shame.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, just bung the camera on for a second on the off chance, and if it's all linear, nah, it's no good. Turn it off. Anyway, okay then. So what are you doing over there then, Jack?
I'm visiting my missus, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to come and have an IRL with one of the Scrub OGs.
So how comes your missus is in Ireland?
She's also an exile. She was living in South London. She's been over here for 8 years now. And yeah, her family's Northern Irish as well, her mother and father. So it feels like home to her.
Okay, so she's in Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Ulster.
Okay.
Northern Ireland, Ulster. Not Ireland.
Rags gets all serious about that.
Oh, he gets passionate, don't he?
I was talking to him the other day and I said, "Is that air?" And he was going, "Air, it's air." I said, "That's what I said, ear." He went, "Air, it's air." So that's very nice. So what? Hang on, how long are you over there for, Jack?
I've got an open ticket, mate. I don't like to make sort of open plans that are closed. So I bought a one-way, and when I'm ready, I'll go back probably within a month. But I'm coming over to move here permanently, and I always was before I met this girl. That was the plan.
Right.
So I guess it's just one of those nice bits of luck along the way, ultimately. And
if I ask you anything you don't want to answer, obviously say I don't want to answer that. But so the question is, how comes you can? I'm just thinking of your work situation. Do you work remotely or something? How can you relocate, and how can you have open tickets and things like that?
I haven't worked for most of the pandemic, mate, to be totally honest with you.
Did you?
So,
okay.
Yeah. So after my savings run out, yeah, I'm on the government's dime at the moment, but I try and make it last and not be too sort of demanding from them.
And realistically, how long do you reckon you're going to get out of that, out of your savings?
Well, they're pretty much gone. They're pretty much gone. But
I'm not laughing at you having no savings. Obviously, I'm just laughing at the fact that I was thinking you were going to say something like about 5 years.
Oh, I wish, mate. No. Yeah, no, it runs through my hands like water, mate. Money always has done.
So no chance of getting some work over there. Have you got?
This is the thing. I want to. It's because I want to be here as soon as possible. I'm going to be looking for work here rather than back in England. So I just need to get my ducks in a row back in England. I've got some stuff to take care of. and then I'll be renting a van one way, jumping on the ferry, and that's it. I'll coming over.
Amazing.
There's another scrub that's coming across. He wants to move here permanently too.
Well, this is that's
Jack,
really interesting.
Jack, how many black people have you seen since you've been here?
Less than 10.
Less than 10. I don't think I've seen that many over here since I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
As I said to you earlier, which is a terrible shame because diversity is a strength and all that. This is one weak country.
No, there's some lovely northwestern diversity over here, for sure.
So this is something this has come up today. So you're thinking of moving over there. Rags has just said there's another scrub who's looking at moving to Northern Ireland full time. Yeah. Someone, if they're in the chat, feel free to dox yourself. But someone in the chat sent me a picture of a house they bought in Bulgaria. They paid 5 bags of sand for it. It's fucking lovely. Looks like a semi. Looks like, the half of a 2-bit, but massive. It looks like it's got 2 or 3 bedrooms, big living room. It's not a little fucking 2 up, 2 down, put it like that. It must be at least 2 acres of land.
That's sitting next to Jag. I've got a semi.
I honestly didn't understand any of that, Rag. Sorry. Try again.
It's something in Irish.
I said sitting next to Jack here. I have a semi.
Hey, I was about to say it's rubbed off on you, but I don't want to say that.
He saw the opening and he went for it. One thing I have noticed, Chris, is the rent over here. You get a lot more for your money, renting wise. For example, I'm paying nearly
women.
No, real estate.
Okay.
I'm paying nearly 700 for a room in a shared 6-bedroom house, right?
No, that's heartbreaking, Jack.
Exactly. Over here for that, I could have a 3-bedroom house, double driveway, lovely big back garden, for the same price.
Yeah, this is exactly what fucked me off. I mean, admittedly, it was Soho, but I was paying 2,200 for what was essentially a bedsit. Now, it had a separate bathroom, which was lovely, a freestanding bath. It was in the centre of Soho, so I get that. But 2,200 a month.
That's that location thing on the price tag on that, isn't it?
And that started to hurt, especially when, the business started sort of getting a bit more difficult. But out here, I couldn't afford this anywhere in England. This place is huge, but this is my point. So the fella, I got that VART, by the way. I'll just see. I'll get on with that in a minute, Mrs. Meanick. Thank you, darling. Nice to know you're here as well. The bloke that sent me the thing about Bulgaria, I talked to someone else about it. He said he's doing the same. Someone else is doing the same. I must get about 3 emails a week asking me how much you'd need to live in Thailand, Vietnam, or Cambodia. And I understand that, we're English or we're Scottish or we're Welsh or we're Northern Irish. I get that. But a lot of us ain't 18 anymore. A lot of us are getting on a bit. And it's like, if you're living in a ghetto, are you going to just put up with that for what? I'm not quite sure what. No, I'm not moving. I'll never move. Well, okay, there's something respectable about that. But there's also something respectable about the fact that it's your life. And I'm not sure that your little protest is actually going to do anything. And I know that sounds a little bit sort of giving up, but I'm not sure that not doing it is going to make much of a difference.
Yeah, but Chris, I was showing Jack around the house here, or it's a bungalow actually, and the land that I have around it, and the garage to the side of the house, and the driveway you can fit about 4 cars onto, and I pay £495 a month for that. Wow. Now, what would you be paying for that in the likes of London?
2.5 bags easy.
In any of the nice places of London, you're not getting anything for £400. You literally nothing. You might get a hotel for the night.
I think you'd struggle to get a nice, a shitty place in London for £400 a month.
Yeah,
You're right. £400 or £500 a month. Wouldn't get a place down Woolworth Road for that.
Oh, you know what? I was just thinking Hackney. I was just thinking, isn't it weird? When you think of shitholes in London, I'm like Peckham, Camberwell, Hackney.
Yeah. Elephant and Castle.
Oh, I had a mate who lived in, a few of them lived in Camberwell, a place called Lyndhurst Drive, maybe Lyndhurst Road. And he had his car nicked. And so, because he had to get to work, he then bought a travel car. No, he then bought a motorbike. 1 month after his car got nicked, his motorbike got nicked. So then he bought a travel card. So he could, a monthly travel card. And he got mugged by 6 girls. Now, 6 black girls, they're all about sort of 16. But you can't lay a finger on them. You just give them
they had his oyster off him, did they?
Yeah, exactly that. And then he had his push bike nicked, and he said, "I'm literally been, I cannot travel. I can't go anywhere.
I've got to walk everywhere."
Yeah. And I moved into a place in Camberwell. Fucking horrible place to live.
But I don't know what Camberwell was like in the 80s when I was growing up in Charlton. But Charlton was delightful, still like a little village.
I know it. It's just up the road from Dartford, isn't it? Charlton.
Yeah. It's and like 15, 20 minutes walk, and we walked everywhere. No buses, taxis. We used to go down Greenwich Park a couple of times a week. That was the ultimate playground for a kid growing up.
Yeah.
I remember
when was
rolling down them massive hills. I've still got an auntie who lives off Shooters Hill. And she's 96 now, bless her. She's the last one of the clutch to be left out of her brothers and sisters. So I go up there once a year, and I usually try and tie it in with going to see a home game. Not that it's worth much.
Well, that was the next thing. I remember, didn't Charlton make Premier League for a while?
In 2007, we finished 7th in the league. And we got into the UEFA Cup on that.
I just remember everyone in Dartford suddenly started supporting Charlton because it was a decent stadium they could go to.
It's a brilliant stadium. You can't knock the stadium, but now you go there and it's a quarter full and you're playing Rochdale on a Tuesday, miserable wet Tuesday night.
Isn't it weird how that can happen? It's so weird how that can happen.
Chris, Jack was saying he's been over here for how long now?
It'll be 2 weeks Friday.
2 weeks on Friday. And he was saying about the green and the spaces and the lack of diversity. And he says it's just like a different way of life. He was talking about walking to the shops from the girlfriend's house, and everybody says, "Hello, how are you today?"
You have an exchange with pretty much everyone. Some sort of interaction with every human you see.
Isn't air not like that at all? I heard from you, Rags, I think, that air is kind of like a multicultural sort of experiment.
Computing Forever did a video on it, I think it was about 2 years ago. And he had gone through the national figures, the government figures.
That's what you were saying.
The Irish population are only now 75% of their own population. And their birth rate that used to be 10 to 14 kids per family is now 1.1. It's the lowest birth rate on the planet because they've literally priced young couples out of houses. They're allowing foreign nationals to buy houses. The place is full of Somalians.
What foreign immigrants do is they all club together out in their own countries so that they can afford a house. Yes. They've got that extended family, and they know that once they've got that, well, that's their base that they can start operating from.
It's their foot in the door.
And we've lost all of that. I got a mate who works in a housing office, and he says it's not actually written in the rules, but Indigenous people, they're well down the list.
Yeah.
and it's because the institution is full of leftists. It's full of essentially postgraduates who believe in all that nonsense.
Was I telling you, Chris?
What?
Was
Pardon?
I telling you, Chris? Was I telling you? I was telling Jack that the Northern Ireland Assembly had actually agreed to take an Afghan family in every town and village in Northern Ireland and house them and look after them as refugees. And they sent one here to Ballymoney, where I live. And they were in Tesco's one night, and you could just see everybody's head turning. This man in a white dress, you know, and they were sort of just looking around going, he's not one of us. They lasted, they lasted a week here before
They begged to go back to Kabul.
One-way ticket to Helmand, please. Let me deal with these super chats. Mrs. Me in it, nice one. Say a big hello and love to Jack London and the Ragnar Iron Spear. I'd do anything for you, dear, anything. And consider yourself at home. I'd do anything for you. Is that it? And consider yourself at home. I hope I got that halfway right.
That's Mrs. Me in that little thing, because when I was in primary school, in P7, you do the Christmas play, and I played Bill Sykes and
Okay.
one of the henchmen and stuff. P6 when I was playing for the Junior Ulster Orchestra, and P7 I was the little drummer boy in the Belfast Forum.
You'll always be my little drummer boy, Rags, until you run off with Jack London.
Yeah, no, he's spoken for now.
Well, I think she's got some competition. Hello, James from Philadelphia.
There's Emma G. Emma G's been here for years.
And weirdly enough, Danger, Emma G was a year below me at my secondary school.
It's all coming back together.
Yeah.
I reckon if you get all the scrubs and join the dots up over Great Britain,
6 degrees of separation.
It spells based.
Based, yeah.
I tell you what, my old man once, we were talking. I was only like about 11, and he said, "I need to show you something." And he said, "If you join the dots up of all these shops," and they were corner shops, right? And he was a nice bloke, my dad. He said, and it was an ordnance survey map of Dartford. And he said, we go from that one to that one. And I didn't know the area. And he said, look what happens. And it was a swastika. And he was bullshitting. I didn't know that these weren't shops. He was going, just that one down at the bottom of West Hill, up to the... hang on, Rags. Hang on. You'll know I've finished because I'll stop talking. So he went...
You never stop talking.
Hang on a minute. I just want to go back to Emma G being at Jack's primary school.
No, secondary school.
Secondary school. So how did Emma end up in Northern Ireland? Do you know, Jack?
I've no idea. I think she's been over there for a while. I didn't know Emma because I barely went to school. But not the last 3 years of it anyway. I spent time in the record shop instead. Much better fun. But how we found that out was through Scrubstock. Because she said she was dancing or marching for a certain band that I'd heard of from our hometown. Don't want to dox us. People know where I'm from anyway. But
that's incredible. Yeah. It's the old, you're right, the old 6 degrees. Go on, mate. What were you saying?
I was going to say, Emma's in the chat there. After how long she's been in Northern Ireland? I think it's been a long way she's been here.
How long have you been over there, Emma? Hello, John Post. Money. Vard. Nice one, John.
Is money.
and dang, 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 dang.
Her 42 have been together for a while, isn't it?
They certainly have. They're terribly in love, aren't they? It's lovely. Yeah, that's what my mate said. It's because they're all lefties that run the place. They don't want them. Diversity is our greatest illusion. You don't have to make it quick. You can make it as long as you want.
Did you play anyone in your school plays?
Well, I was that cunt who was asked to be the lead role in everything.
I had a feeling it might be.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a bit predictable. The only one that I wasn't the lead in was Robinson Crusoe, because I asked. I said, I don't want to be Robinson Crusoe. I want to be the cannibal chief.
Man Friday.
No, the cannibal chief, because I got to come in and go with a spear and all that.
Oh, please tell me you were Justin Trudeau'd up to the max.
Yeah. And they said they wanted me to sort of, because this was like 1976 or something.
It was well acceptable then.
They literally said to me, they said, just come out like one of those jungle
bone
people.
Through the nose.
Yeah, it was all that. And I was going, I go booga booga, I booga booga. Really?
I think I would have taken that over the lead in Robinson Crusoe too, to be fair.
Exactly. I was Mr. Tafter, the laundryman, in the play Mr. Tafter, the laundryman. I was Jesus in Something About Jesus, but that was a hit.
Was that what Something About Mary was based on originally?
It's something to do with that. But no, it wasn't. It wasn't the what's the one with the three kings? Because obviously
it wasn't the nativity.
No, because I was 7.
It's just your head in a manger
with a little baby's body on it. But I also played Frank, who was an evacuee. It's quite a well-known play called Frank about an evacuee when they got all the kids out of London during the Second World War. And that was put on in the Orchard Theatre in Dartford, and I was the lead in that. But that all stopped at secondary school, because as soon as I got to secondary school, when I went to primary school, it was lovely. They were nice people. But secondary school, everyone was growing up.
Mate, at secondary school, I was what you'd probably call a boffin, a geek. I loved secondary school. My writing, my maths, my reading was all on point. When I went to, when you go to secondary school, there's like some assessment and they put you in I don't know if they can do it now, but we used to have letters and you knew you were in a higher group than other people, right? I was in the top for everything, but secondary school, I lived in quite a nice catchment area for my primary school. When you go to secondary school, you get everyone. First year of secondary school for a bloke is essentially the hierarchy of who's the hardest. The amount of fights in the first year, where it all gets laid out for the rest of your school year. Who's the tough kids? Who are the jokers? I went down the joker path. That was my protection.
Me too. Absolutely, me too. And what I'd done, and it was actually called out to me in a rehab once, so I still done it in my adult life. Not only did I make the other kids laugh, but I'd get them on side, because that was my protection.
I was always trying to make my key workers laugh. When I'm at the, I've hit rock bottom, I'm still trying to make them laugh somehow, rattling in front of them.
Isn't it weird that my mother said to me once, because I obviously have spoken to her about all this performance business that I dealt with, 15, 16 years ago at rehab. It was they really got into that, just relax in public. You don't have to put on a show. You're enough. You don't need to prove yourself all the time, Dangerfield. Yeah. It was such a relief, It wasn't that easy. I didn't go, oh, that's all right, sweet, I'll change. It took a lot of therapy. But when I told my mother about all of that, she said to me, well, I can remember when you were like 4 years old. And I said to you, Nan's coming over. And she said, you used to love it when your grandparents come over, but you were all upset and ran upstairs. And I come up and said, what's wrong? Don't you want to see your Nan? And you said, yeah, but I've got an headache. And what if I can't make her laugh? Oh, poor little.
You've had headaches since the age of that young, have you?
I've always had them. And, I'm sure that tumour's developing nicely. It will be the end of my days.
I played Do you remember the old Cockney song where father pasted the parlour? You couldn't see him for paste. Yeah.
No.
You don't. Well, I was the lead in that. The guy who was the lead in it bottled it on the night.
Oh, understudy.
Understudy.
Yeah, but, whoa. You're not going to get away with just those two lines. Come on, give it
Dabbing
to us.
it here, dabbing it there, paste and paper everywhere. The children were stuck to the ceiling, and mother was stuck to the floor. And I can't remember the last bit, but it's all good.
Ah, I can see you there going.
I was little flat cap, little flat cap, big open collar shirt. And I also played Fat Sam from Bugsy Malone.
Oh yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
That was it. Secondary school. No, I'm not being that wrong. I'm not letting myself be that vulnerable.
No,
Same as that.
Yeah.
I know. Fuck
secondary
that.
school for me was just it was basically Fight Club, the movie.
What? So speak up, Rags. Couldn't hear it.
I said secondary school for me was basically Fight Club, the movie.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what about Fight Club. I was watching that film I told you the other day, The Art of Self-Defense, which is kind of like Fight Club, right? Starts off about people fighting and then becomes a bit of a sort of an analysis of masculinity and then becomes a story. And I was thinking after watching it and thinking about Fight Club, I'm not a fan of Fight Club. I'll tell you what I'd have preferred. You know, the first sort of 10, 15 minutes of Fight Club where they meet up and have fights in like garages and they turn up at work with like broken noses and black eyes.
Yes.
I'd rather have just seen a movie like that about what it would be like for men in their real lives to be scrapping, you know, maybe once or twice a week. When it all started becoming this thing to change the world and it ends up Brad Pitt is the same bloke as him, I was thinking, this is an opportunity wasted here. I think
went too meta, didn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly that. I should have just said that. I would have preferred a real sort of thorough examination of men fighting. I could have done an hour and a half of that. You know,
Chris, you have to understand. I come from a long line of unionist background, and you can check this for 42. You know, the unionists have a certain mindset. But when my grandfather came here as a Second World War veteran, injured veteran, he was stuck in a hospital in Newton Ards, where he met my grandmother, who was nursing him back to health. And the two of them.
Whoa. Your grandfather met his wife, who was his nurse.
Right. Yeah. Danger, don't let me forget. I've got a story very similar to tell you.
So romantic.
He was literally from Glasgow. One of his brothers was a desert rat, and the other one was in the Navy. He lost his fingers closing the breech of a gun, firing on the Bismarck. But when he was being nursed back to health here, you can still visit the hospital. It's an old dilapidated old manor house now down in Derrick Peninsula.
What?
He actually changed his name from Dan Kane to Dan O'Kane because she was Catholic. They used to call him Protestant.
That's incredible.
They
right,
used to
Sorry, Rags, go on.
They used to call him Protestant Dan because he was a unionist from Glasgow. But he let his wife raise the kids Roman Catholic. Well,
this is Rags. This is all going over my head. This is what I'm going to have to talk to 42 about. I don't understand why I'd have to put an O in his name. Listen, I've got to have a piss. You two are going to be holding this stream together, so don't let me down.
No.
Chat away, lads. I'll put it on mute because there's a lot coming out. See you in a minute.
Starting to break up a bit. Right? Can the chat still hear us? I can't see the chat. We're checking. Can the chat still hear us? One in the chat if you can still hear us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll continue on with our stories of Ulster as soon as he gets back from his whiz break. We can now go through a couple of limericks.
So what ship was your granddad on?
As HMS Belfast.
HMS Belfast, right? And that was the one that fired at the Bismarck.
Yes.
It sank the Bismarck.
They were chasing the Bismarck.
Okay.
They disabled the Bismarck, but they didn't actually. I don't think they actually sunk it. Somebody else sunk it.
I know it was a big ship, a big target that they got. I don't know who sunk it though. No. But I'm going to tell Danger that because I've got a very similar story to you about my granddad, how he met my nan.
Yeah.
But I'll wait for him to
come back.
Yeah.
But your grandfather is actually from here.
My grandfather is from Derry.
Londonderry.
Londonderry. Sorry, mate. Yeah, my granddad's from Londonderry.
You can see 42 in the chat. Won't have reflected here. It's fucking Londonderry.
He came to England in his early 20s.
Yes.
And he took the Queen's shilling.
Yes.
And he joined the Royal Navy.
You pair of pricks. Why did you think me going away would mean the chat couldn't hear you? Am I like a human microphone?
It weren't me too much, mate. I just let Rags crack on.
That's my first point. My second point is I've been on HMS Belfast. It used to be moored up just off the South Bank, if I remember rightly.
Absolutely, it did, Danger. I did that. Did you? How many times did you go on a Cutty Sark?
Oh yeah, up in Greenwich, loads.
Oh, going through that foot tunnel, and you could see the water like sort of cascading down the sides.
That tunnel's proper dodge. I think that tunnel was featured on like about 20 album covers. I think there's even a bit in Quadrophenia.
It's some beautiful Victorian architecture. Though. The two tunnel houses that lead down to the tunnels are beautiful. And do you remember the Gypsy Moth used to be in Dry Dock as well? Just by there, the boat that Francis Chichester circumnavigated the globe on.
I didn't remember it was him. Hang on, I remember the Cutty Sark, but I don't remember another boat.
Or am I getting confused with someone else?
I don't know.
It's the other one's Francis Drake, innit? It wouldn't have been him. Yeah. Anyway, what I want to tell you, you said about Rags' story with his granddad. So my granddad is from Londonderry, over here in Ulster. He came over in his sort of late teens, early 20s to England. And he joined the Royal Navy during World War II, and he got the Atlantic Star. He was doing the Atlantic convoy crossings. He got also got the Star of Burma, about 5 or 6 medals, your service medal and everything. And on a bit of R&R after World War II, this would have been early to mid 50s. He was in a motorcycle and sidecar with a mate, absolutely shafted. And they went through a barrier over a side of a cliff. The guy in the sidecar died, and my granddad had pretty much his face taken off. He was airlifted back to England. He didn't have a nose; he just had a hole where his nose was. And there's a doctor called Gillies. A lot of the places in the town I'm from are called like Gillies Health Centre or Gillies Surgery. Right. After famous pioneer in plastic surgery. My granddad's in some actual medical books because they rebuilt his nose using his skin off his buttocks.
Okay, wow.
So the joke in my family was always like, you can smell your own arse kind of thing. But his nurse was my nan.
Wow, another one.
And my nan met my granddad where he didn't have a nose.
But what I was saying, Chris, was my grandfather was, as I say, Protestant dad. He allowed my granny to raise the kids Catholic, but they were brought up Unionist. And they were all in the British Legion. They were all, a lot of them was military. A lot of the girls in the family, they volunteered for the British Legion. The poppy appeals and all the different things that because it's just not cut and dry here. It's just not.
No, I'm going to have to wait till I talk to 42 before I even go anywhere near all that. But check that out.
You think about me. Yes, you think about me going to a Unionist Protestant school with a second surname of O'Kane, and I literally had to fight nearly every fucking day.
That's where you started that story, wasn't it?
Yes, because
couldn't you just drop the O? Like, you know.
They used to pay families to drop the O, Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
What am I missing
We
here?
did.
To anglicise them.
Wow. Well, if I was getting the shit kicked out of me, I'd have done it for nothing. Yeah, it's Kane.
No, I
What-
never got the shit kicked in me though.
There you go. That was where you were going. All right, so if I came over there, would I have to change my name to Christopher O. Dangerfield?
No.
Seamus O'Hooligan.
Well,
No.
I do want to talk to 42 about this tomorrow because Rags was telling me the other day, this might be a bit much for now, but that there's Catholics and Protestants getting together against a new third enemy. But I suppose I should wait till I talk to 42 because I don't know anywhere near enough about this subject as I should. Oh, check this out. Look, our Pizzle's granddad was on HMS Belfast. I wonder if he knew yours. That's incredible.
He could have done. I found a book in an old. It's an old second-hand bookshop, and I remember seeing a picture as a kid of my Uncle Tommy as a desert rat in North Africa.
Wow.
Sitting in a jeep. So
Really cool.
I had picked up this book, and I was flicking through the pages, and I thought, my dad would love this, because my dad was massively into the history and stuff. And I was flicking through the pages, and then I turned over the page, and what was on that page? The same bloody picture of my Uncle Tommy. And I was like, fucking cool. I'm buying this.
Yeah, wicked. My computer's crashed. My computer's crashed. Can you still hear me?
It's crashed. Yeah, I can still hear you.
Bollocks.
I don't know. Has the screen crashed?
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. You're going to have to keep... Oh, you're not going to be able to do it. Right, everyone, I'll be back in a minute. Bollocks.
No, according to his phone here, you're still live.
Nah, but I can't...
So it's died now. Are we on camera?
No.
Let's switch it off. Can you hear him?
You can't hear him, no. Oh. Regs, I can't hear him.
Right, I'm back. I reckon I'm back. Hello, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can hear someone playing the drums. I'm not fucking muted. I know when I'm muted because it says muted. Can you hear me now? Rags, can you hear me? Right, I'm back. I'm back. Rags, speak.
Hello, Danger. Can you hear me?
Hello, Jack. Right, we're all back.
Yeah, hello, mate. 2 seconds, brother. 2 seconds. I just need to get Rags to put his phone screen back on because he was out because his back teeth were floating.
Everyone was telling me I was muted and I knew I wasn't. Right, where was I? So listen, yesterday JC dropped 2 bullseyes in and I missed one of them, so sorry about that. So thank you, JC, incredibly generous.
Yeah,
What's that fucking clicking around? Leave his foreskin alone. I'm trying to talk. And Grego said, I have a theory.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Right. I have a theory that who you play in the school nativity has a profound impact on your life outcome. I played Shepherd 2, doing all right. My mate Rabbit played the door of the inn, homeless junkie. Thoughts? Grego, I think it's going to require a little bit more work, but it's certainly it's certainly somewhere you can step off from and maybe do some further analysis. Thank you, JC. Thank you, Grego. Very kind of you both. Muchano Caprasha Cuckoo. Right.
Danger, can you hear me, mate?
The lads. Yep, loud and clear.
Right. Grego's theory. I played the keeper of the inn. I was a junkie, but I weren't homeless. So there's some water to his theory.
This geezer played the door of the inn. I mean, I don't get that. The actual door.
Oh, we played the door of the inn. Oh, maybe that's why he ended up homeless then, and not.
It's making me think what kind of school Grego went to be honest with you.
Yeah, what Jim Morrison in the nativity.
Yeah, he played the doors. Right. So what's on for what's happening now? What are you going to be getting up to tomorrow, Jack, on your Northern Irish adventure?
Well, I'm having a little old drinky with Rags tonight. I'm kipping at his pad tonight, and I will be making my way back to where I'm staying sort of late tomorrow afternoon. It's a lovely, pleasant journey up. It was half bus, half train, but beautiful scenery. It's so green over it. I mean, I come from a place in North Hampshire. That's where I sort of mainly grew up. That was absolutely surrounded in country, but I saw it swallowed up. I saw it, fields disappear, massive fields, farms go to this urban sprawl.
It's quite interesting because when you hear Mark Collette talk about this, he says that they're always going on about how much land there is in England, and we can accept the governments and the globalists say there's loads of room, but when you think about the amount of agriculture and farming you require to feed a town, that's where the actual land gets swallowed up. You can build a housing estate, but you've got to feed those people. They need dairy, they need wheat, they need oats.
Chris, were the native people of Britain ever asked if they wanted to share their homeland with other people? That's the main question,
The other problem with that as well, Chris, is I found in my hometown of Basingstoke was they can start piling in these people. They started turning in all the old office blocks into high-rise flats where the businesses left, realised they didn't need real estate, they can do everything online. But the infrastructure's not there, the doctors aren't there, the schools aren't there, the hospital's not fit for purpose. And the people who suffer the most are the people who've lived there and paid into the system, into the local council all their life.
and that's it, and who've paid into it. I mean, I remember as a kid, if you needed the A&E, like I frequently did, I think a lot of kids in the 70s and 80s did, because you were told to get out the fucking house. You know, fuck off, come back for dinner at 7 o'clock. But you'd go in the A&E and you'd get seen to immediately. And now it's like 6-7 hours waiting list, and it's like this isn't working. This cannot work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris, in the 70s and 80s, I used to come out casualty more injured than I went in, because my mum was on casualty. And when I went in and got stitched up, somebody phoned her and went, "Violet, you're Stephen's in here again." The next minute she come down and she had battered the shit out of me. What the fuck are you doing at? What happened to your brother? What happened to your brother? That was you, wasn't it? No, it wasn't, Mum. He did it to himself.
Rags, when did you start riding motorbikes?
I started riding motorbikes when I was 6 years old.
And what was that? Was that just getting hold of an old steppy and driving around the streets, or was it on tracks or something?
No, my mum worked overtime in the hospital, and Dad worked overtime for BT, British Telecom. It was the post office at the time before it was British Telecom. And they came in just on Christmas Eve to the living room, because we were pretty much like where you were, the same type of places you had, Chris. It was like 2 up, 2 down. And we had a back room, which was, you know, the old red hard tiles and the big black range in the hearth place.
Yeah.
And that heated the water, and it done everything. And then you got grants then for these houses to update them. And, you know, there was an outside toilet. You literally had to go out with a candle at night for a whiz.
That's it.
Kid.
Yeah.
You know,
we had an outdoor bath.
Yeah. And I remember my mum actually putting me and the brother on a Sunday. It was a Saturday night bath, it was, for Sunday school.
It was Sunday out. Oh, you had a bath for Sunday school. Ours was Sunday night for school, but one bath a week. Bath a week.
And she had me and the brother in this fucking big tin bath in front of this black range in the back room. The living room at the front of the house, it was for guests. We weren't allowed in there.
Wow.
You know,
wow. What, in a 2 up, 2 down?
Yeah, that had Mum's ornaments and bits and pieces and stuff.
Yeah, I used to have mates' houses like that. Amazing.
Yeah, me too.
Amazing. Can't go in there. Why not?
You remember the plastic covers they'd have on the sofas?
My mother had that for like 10 years. I was like, why? She says, well, you know, it stops them getting damaged. I said, yeah, but it's crazy. Wait, I'll tell you what question I want to ask a pair of you, and I want to put this out to the chat. And if anyone else, yeah, that's it, Emma, the posh living room. We didn't have it because my old man was a builder, and he smashed the middle room down so that our downstairs was one room.
Yeah, my dad did that. My dad did that, rebuilt it a couple of times when we lived in my house.
He knocked it down, put a wall back up, and then knocked it down again.
Absolutely, yeah. Because my old man never watched television. He would sit up, have his beers, and listen to music every night with his record player.
Okay, so he wanted his own room.
Yeah, well, when my mum when the soaps and all that started becoming popular in the 80s, my mum would sit there tutting and that because she couldn't hear soaps because the old man's music was on.
I bet it was the same with him as well. He's thinking, fucking hell, I can't be doing all this driving with me other ear.
Yeah, no, not when he's listening to his Albert Lee and Chaz and Dave and all that. No, he didn't need to be hearing Dirty Den and Angie in the background.
I was 3 years old. The brother had just been born. We were living in a council estate called Harper's Hill, which is now called Cypress Hill. It was a fucking dive. And my grandfather had bought a second house down the street from him in a place called Mount Street. And it just sat adjacent to the chapel. And there must have been about 100 houses, 50 houses each side. And they went from 2 up, 2 downs to 3-story sort of houses. And there was a mix of houses. And Mum and Dad bought that for £800 off my grandfather.
Fuck me.
I looked last year, and that place has been completely refurbished inside and out. It is now housing Polish, renting it. But that place went up for sale a couple of years ago for nearly 200 grand.
Fucking madness, isn't it?
Yeah, my mum and dad got the right to buy on their house in the late 80s. I think they paid about 16 grand for it. And when my mum emigrated last year, I think she actually got paid over what she was asking for it, and it was just under 300.
Because
my mother
moved to Ireland. She's in the Republic now.
Yeah, my mum's moved down south.
Oh, okay.
She came over early 20.
Well, that's handy as well, though, isn't it? That'd be nice.
Well, this is the thing, Danger. You probably know this theory. When the father of the family dies, and it was the same with my granddad, the family dispersed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, same as
when
that.
my father died.
How old were you, Jack?
It's going to be 4 years ago in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
So I was 36.
Okay.
So not as young as you, mate, but it still hurts just the same, as you well know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, and he was, like to you, he was my hero. He was a proper dad, Like, I was never bored as a child. We didn't have a load of money, but I was never bored.
Yeah, same as that.
Little things like this, like say like he promised to take us out on a picnic, right? The day came and it was pissing down with rain, and me and my little brother were all disappointed. And that next thing you know, we're climbing up the ladder and he set a picnic up in the loft.
Oh yeah. Proper exciting when you're a kid. Yeah.
You know,
better than going out for a picnic.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you get it. Just little things like that. And always wanted. Yeah, go on.
I want to put this question out because this
on,
is
mate.
a real. So we had an outdoor bath. It was a tin bath. I've shown photos of me in it on this stream. Not Mrs. Me in it. Well, I have shown photos of her in a sexy leather dress. But you've seen photos. But when I was really, really young, and I just want someone else to know that I'm not making this up, because when I've told people, they don't believe me. The houses in my street had a thing that was called the copper. And it was an old copper boiler, and it sat on a fire, like a wood fire. It was basically an old copper boiler that you filled up with water and you set a fire at the bottom of it. And there was a chimney that went up, to take all the smoke out. And that was the family bath. Now, the health and safety got shot of them in the end because it was like, no, you can't have like 100 litres of boiling water in your front room. Please tell me in the chat if anyone had a copper. I wonder if there's anything online about it because people tell me I'm dreaming. Hang on.
I think that was a little bit before my time, but I do remember my dad used to have a bed warmer, a copper bed warmer.
Oh, the old pan of coals.
Yeah, they used to put the hot embers in and go and warm their bed up with. It's crazy, isn't it?
Hey, look, Mrs. Me in it remembers it, the copper. Her husband says you lived in 1900s. No, they had them in that street. They just hadn't, in those days, no one was flipping houses. You didn't do an house up when you bought and sold it. You just sold it. Planet X had triple bunk beds. Is that a spunk bed? I don't know where that come from. Willow had a coal one, so you had a copper. I've just typed in copper bath, and of course I'm getting copper baths come up. It was called the copper, and any
like a
rubbish
brand
you
name?
had. No, it was because it was an. I think it was just an old. I can just picture an old.
I can see them. They're like got dimples in, yeah. It's not like black metal. It's like dimple.
I know you're thinking planished, I think, or you're thinking the fake planishing like the old bar tables that they put on them.
Yeah, probably. I used to get bathed in the sink.
Yeah, been there to done that.
I don't remember. Mr. MF said, and leprechauns stirred the water. Well, hang on. Let me see if I can find out this. Hang on. Copper. Hang on. I know it's a weird one to search for. Copper bath bathing.
Yeah, Chris, when we were babies, my mum used to do the dishes, and then she'd refill the sink, and that's where we bathed. That's where we were bathed in.
You were bathed in the old. Oh, yoy.
In the
I
grey
remember
water.
we tried that as students once. Our sink got so massive and full of shit that we threw it all in the bath, and it you can't do it. It doesn't work. We were retching.
Back in the 70s, Chris, our sink was in the parlour, and there was like a cold storage because we didn't have a fridge. And it was what they call now 42. I remember these. It's called the old Belfast sinks. And
Oh no, I know a Belfast sink.
Yeah, big porcelain
exactly
things.
Big massive
Yeah.
porcelain thing. So
Square.
after as soon as Mum had finished doing the dishes, she washed it all out and put lukewarm water in it and floated us in it, and that's how we were bathed as babies.
Yeah, worth some serious wedge now, those Belfast sinks.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, isn't it? I tell you what, and I called it as well. Do you remember the old schools? My primary school had them. It was the radiators. They were square, but in sections.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had
Solid
them all
iron.
up. Yeah, and they had them all up the walls. And I remember when one of the school in Dartford got knocked down, and I had my eyes on them, and I was thinking, we're getting there one night. I said, I tell you what, modern interior designers will probably give you $1,000 a meter for those, because in these nice big posh houses, you know, to have something like that. But of course, the pikeys that do the demolition, they already had their eyes on them.
Chris, you try and go into a reclaimer's yard here and buy a parquet floor or a Belfast sink. You'll be or them radiators you're talking about out of old schools. The parquet floor came out of our old primary school, the Irish Society. It used to be in Korean. It went to a reclaimer's yard, and I think they're about 4 inch deep blocks of wood.
Wow!
And people would actually buy it. They're like to floor your living room's over $2,000.
No, of course, cost a fucking fortune, but we'll see you forever.
You were saying the other day,
yesterday,
Danger. Yeah, you were saying this on a stream recently about the parquet floorings they used to have in your schools. And after the 6-week holiday, you come back and there'll be that smell.
Yeah,
where they revarnished it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the varnish was like 5 mil deep. I can remember if you sort of skidded on a stone, there'd be like, it would scratch into it and there'd be like a yellow kind of debris come out of it. But
Flaky.
How amazing is that? They built schools with parquet flooring. I mean, it's hard to lay, and it's like free. My old man put parquet flooring in our 2 up, 2 down, but it was like not the big lumps of it that you get at schools. They were only like about 4 inches long bits of wood. But he done it through the old house, and then after, because that was a real 70s thing, and like he was a builder, so he done it, didn't have to pay for labour. Mother didn't like it come the 80s because it was a bit cold, wanted underlaying carpets, and towards the middle of the 80s, it was like, hang on, we've got parquet flooring under here, because everyone was putting in that, what's that horrible stuff, that photographs of wood that people put down, what's it called?
Oh, laminate.
Yeah, horrible, and it's always like on the fucking wobble, and I said to me, oh man, let's why don't we have these carpets up and get that lovely parquet all polished up? He said because it's covered in thick black glue now, and we give it a go, but we couldn't do it. I can't stand that laminate. I can't stand it.
Even now, 2022, you know, we're years behind fucking progressiveness. We have primary schools here for our kids, and the maximum you'll have in that primary school, P1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, P7s. I don't know what you call them in England, but it was your first 7 years of schooling. You'll have P1 to P5 in one classroom with 2 teachers.
Hang on, I don't know what you're talking about, Rags. What do you mean P1 to P5?
I think what he's talking about is danger. Is we got the seven years we have at primary school from 4 to 11. I think they call that P1, P2, P3 from the age of 4 to 11.
We have infants and primary, I think, in England, don't we?
Right.
Well, do you know what? I never really understood that, danger, because I only really went to one school. It was just a primary school. And then people used to talk about infants, juniors, primary. I went to one school.
Yeah, you've only just found out you were remedial. They held you back.
Oh, that rainbow bus could have given it away.
There you go. There you go.
the Forrest Gump of Peckham.
Yeah.
No, but the schools here, there's a wee school called Landhead, and all my kids went to. And they were in a school, and the total amount of children in that school was 43 kids in this wee village school, and they still have the parquet flooring in the classrooms.
Wow.
Their gym and stuff, their dining hall. And
We
had 40 people per class.
40 people per class, you know. And even dotted around here, I was talking to Jack the other day, and we were talking about the old manor houses. We have a manor house just outside Ballinamore, and it was the Lord of the Manor had built a factory, a flax factory.
Oh, Rags, 1 second. Lee just said that Jack just realised he was in the unit. Sorry, go on, Rags.
I'm not too sure if it's closer to Belfast and 42 and stuff, but up around here you used to have manor houses, and that Lord of the Manor would have built a flax factory or some sort of factory, and around the factory he would have built small 2 up, 2 downs, and that was for his employees.
There you go. Yeah.
That became a village, and the landlord he actually owned the village shop. So what he was selling, food-wise and stuff like that, there to the people, he was paying them, and he was taking the money back off them in his shop.
Yeah,
basically.
No, it's a classic setup.
It's what they used to do in the California, wasn't it? In the gold rush, you get tokens that you could only spend in.
That's it.
On the railroad shops and that.
Right, listen, people, it's gone 5 a.m. here. I want to wrap this up, but before I do, I just want to know. So, Jack, so what happens? What's your plans to get over there living? What's that process from here?
I'll be probably back in England by April, and then it's a case of getting the quotes for the van, the ferry, and then getting that money squirreled away and doing it. It's
and will you be moving in with your missus, or what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And you've lived with her before?
No.
Okay, all very interesting. How long have you been together?
4 months.
Fucking hell! And I mean
you've got to grasp these opportunities.
Whoa. I meant that as good. That as good. Absolutely right.
Chris, she is literally the salt of the earth. She is just one absolute.
Yeah, no, you rub it in. Go on, tell me how nice his missus is. Go on. They happy together, are they, Rags? Good.
Fuck knows.
We are very.
They might not be after tonight.
I heard they had a sex thing. So.
Right, listen. Old Made in England. We're just finishing. Well, I am trying to jumble the times around to, so different people can catch lives. Listen, it's been wonderful talking to you. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone, but we got somewhere in the end, didn't we? Try and put your camera on now. Just click it on just to see. I wonder if it was not working. I've got no idea why that is. What a terrible shame. Because people blatantly stream on their mobile phones, don't they? I've done it.
Can you see us now?
No. What? No, nothing. Nice one, Raymond. That's very kind of you. Jack and Rags, two very switched on, intelligent sounding gents. Yeah, oh, they've gone. They didn't like that, Raymond. Rags thought you were moving in on his new boyfriend. Look, he dropped him out. Thank you, Raymond. Raymond, you've been very repeatedly generous recently. So's JC. So's a lot of you. And it really is appreciated. You know I do the old grifting thing and jokes, but it's actually life changing, the donations, and having your life changed is a good thing. I wouldn't be able to live in this flat if it wasn't for my YouTube channel, and believe me, that little place upstairs had a fucking flat roof. I was sweating all day every day, and I thought that was just Cambodia, but it don't happen in here.
You were sweating like a priest in the playground.
Right,
I've got to get one in. You're sweating like Ron Atkinson at Notting Hill Carnival.
There you go. Did you hear what Raymond said? He said Jack and Rags, two very switched on and intelligent sounding gents, and I agree with that as well.
Thank you, Raymond.
All right, Rags. All right. Hang on. I think there's one more come through. Thank you, Skin Scar. Machano Capricitatu. Very, very kind. When I do get back to England, you're going to have to get over and come to London for the day or a couple of days and do the scrubs in real IRL. I'll be able to sort you out some accommodation, even if it means just crashing down at my mother's or something.
Mrs. D, yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
she won't mind.
I sleep on the radiator in the sleeping bag. I don't care.
Well, we won't be putting the radio on, mate.
Radiator.
You'll have to give my mum a tenner if you want that kind of treatment. She's going to get out the old copper bedpan that Jack was talking about.
Chris, it's been lovely to talk to you in real time for once, rather than voice notes, buddy.
A real pleasure, and I'll talk to you both again. Nice one, Rags. Nice one, Jack. We'll have a J and an R in the chat, please, for these two wonderful lads. Yeah. Take care, people. Have a nice evening. Night, scrubs. Have a drink on me. Ta-da! Yeah. Lovely people. Lovely people. You know what? Just as we were doing that, then it was a thank you, Skin Scar. Thank you, Raymond. You know what? As I was talking to those two, then I was thinking the channel's about 6 years old. I actually set the channel up about 8 years ago, but I just didn't know how to use it. But I think we've probably been streaming for about 3 years now. Thank you, Chrissy. Machano Capriccio too. And we must have had at least 40%, 35% of the regulars on at some point. We've had loads of people on the screen, in the private chats, in these ones. I don't think anyone's come on who's been an arsehole. I don't think anyone has come on who hasn't had integrity, and not tried to be an arsehole or try and show off, or, people have come on and just been really nice people. I think it's a real testament because, this is the internet. Anyone could come on, really. And, what a thing. People, it's gone 5 a.m. I only had 2 hours kip last night, so I've got to go to sleep. Bless you all. I will see you tomorrow at some point. It's Thursday, and then Friday I'll be talking to 42 about him growing up in Northern Ireland during all that fucking chaos. So that'll be superb. I'm gonna wimp out with Alex Jones because it does the trick, doesn't it? And I haven't got the energy to think of anything else at the moment. So here we go. Let's get that over there. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to Rags and Steve Cray for looking after the place. Thanks to all you lot for engaging. You people have been on fire. I've really needed these streams recently. You just got me through what's been quite an horrible night, to be honest with you. I keep having that wound reopened and I don't really know what to do about it, but that is life. So bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Oh, I was about to end the broadcast without a bit of Alex. Ta-ta!
System, the government store, the paradigm of absolute control.
Can you hear it?
And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. They're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we want to eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Yeah, make sure you number them pictures 42, and then when you want that picture to come up, you can just not tell me what number.
Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis.
Hello, Alan.
We love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Funnily enough, so was I. Here, I'm going to get these last few in. I can't get them all in. That's going to be the last one. Look after yourselves, people, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bless you. Hi.